Oh, jumping right into it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, drop it like it's
yeah.
hot.
So they're gonna win the division. Probably gonna make the AFC Championship. Probably going back to the Super Bowl. I mean, it begins and ends with the man himself, Fat Pat Mahomes. Proved it last year. I mean, he lost talent at wide receiver and still put up record numbers. Travis Kelce puts up wide receiver one numbers of the tight end position. If we could just get one of these receivers to step up between Valdez or Sky Moore, I really like Kadarius Toney in this offense. If that man can stay healthy, always have some sort of gadget play with him. I mean, if he's healthy in the game, it's like he's always good for anytime touchdown. I took it in the Super Bowl, but I mean, Andy Reid loves this guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has double digit touchdowns this year, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he has double digit touchdowns with like less than 500 yards receiving.
Double-digit touchdowns on single-digit touches.
basically, basically, but no, I like this team a lot. Isaiah Pacheco really came into his own last year. They haven't really had a running back hold that starting role in that Andy Reid offense, basically,
They
since
don't
he's
need
gotten there.
this. Might be one of the deepest running back rooms in the NFL, and it doesn't have a star. And that like
Yeah.
I'm cool with
I
that.
think
Like
Pacheco
Isaiah
could be a
Pacheco,
star.
Jerick McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still there. Like
Yeah.
if you have your top two backs go down, you still have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and LaMichael Pirine behind him, who sure he hasn't done a lot in this league, but like he's better than most teams' fourth stringer.
Yeah. And then, I mean, looking at this offensive line, solid in the middle, got some question marks at tackle. But, I mean, Pat is won every single way. He's won with bad O lines. He's won with good O lines. He's won with star receiver talent. He's won with no receiver talent. He's won with good defense. He's won with bad defense. I mean, he just wins. I mean, I
So
think,
I was just to say the questions at tackle, the questions are all about run blocking. These guys are top tier pass protectors.
yeah. And then, I mean, Andy Reid's a wizard at run the ball, too. So, I mean, he can make that work. But I think assuming everybody stays healthy, it's over 11 and a half wins. It's win the division. It's AFC championship. And you got to sprinkle something on the Super Bowl. I mean, Pat's made the AFC championship every year. He's been a starter in the league. He's been to 3 Super Bowls. He's won 2. I mean, it's just at plus 600, just throw half a unit on there. And most likely you'll have, at worst, a good hedge opportunity.
If you bet preseason Super Bowl odds the way that I do, which is hit 4 different teams, pick 4 teams who you think are going and hit them.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are just one of your regulars at this point. Like you have to be hitting them every year because there's a chance that they win. I mean, when Pat Mahomes has proven to be this versatile, transcendent, and versatile in what he can do to you. Like he came in the league. This guy's got a cannon of an arm. He's just going to kill you deep. We can't let him do that. So he starts tearing people up underneath. Like last year in the playoffs, they were defending him for the underneath because they're like, on his leg, he can't sit back there and afford to get hit. He's got to get rid of the ball. And he still was tearing him up. Like, I mean, there's no stopping Pat Mahomes. He is just that dude. That was without a number 1 wide receiver on the team. Like, they shipped out Tyreek Hill, and he apparently got better. Like, he defies logic. His worst game of the season last year was still 0.11 EPA per play, which would have been 12th for the full season. I mean, not a single game of, let alone negative EPA, but not a single game even below league average EPA per play.
Yeah, and they've been the model of consistency since Andy Reid stepped foot in on that team. I mean, even before Pat Mahomes ever winning the division every year. And you look at the AFC top to bottom, there's questions on a lot of places, a lot of teams that you're like, oh, we'll see about this. I can guarantee you that the Chiefs will be a top 3 seed if everybody stays healthy, probably a 1 or a 2 seed, probably between 12 and 14 wins, probably another MVP for Patrick Mahomes, and we'll see how the rest of it lines out. But
one thing I do want to touch on is we had a lot of commenters on our Buffalo Bills video talking about how it's a BS argument to sit here and say if Josh Allen gets hurt, I don't know. You could say the same thing about Pat Mahomes. And my rebuttal is, can you say the same thing about Pat Mahomes?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Like, I mean, Josh Allen got hurt last year, and he is the Bills' offense, right? He need that offense puts a lot of weight on his back to produce the way they do. Yeah. So does Kansas City, but when Pat Mahomes got hurt, they didn't miss a beat. They just kept doing it and doing it. Like, so that was where the heart of that argument is. It's like, I'm not sure Mahomes won the Super Bowl on a partially broken leg. You know, like, I mean, I'm just not sure what stops this guy anymore.
Yeah. And I mean, their backup went 98 yards down the field in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to believe that they will find ways to win. That would be, I'm not sure if I actually wrote that down.
Because
I don't remember.
You're retired.
It's Pat Mahomes with a haircut.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Colt McCoy or something, but yeah, it don't matter. But then, yeah, there's nothing really else to say about this offense other than it begins and ends with Patrick Mahomes. Pacheco's really good for him.
Hey,
Travis
Kelce's for Sky Moore and Rashee Rice. And I didn't even like Rashee Rice in the draft, but I like Rashee Rice on the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they just need one guy to step up here, and it could be Valdez-Scantling, it could be Kadarius Toney, it could be Sky Moore. Could be Rashee Rice, who knows? Or maybe they make a trade. I don't know, but I don't think it matters.
One interesting thing: Noah Gray came on late last season. Their backup tight end, and Jody Fortson even a little bit, but more Noah Gray. Of like they might be able to start getting dangerous with the 12th personnel.
Yeah, and I mean Travis Kelce tight end, but I mean he's your wide receiver one, really.
Yeah. Now, on defense, this D-line starts and ends with Chris Jones. Like, it is everything for them. If there's one player I am worried about injury-wise, like, derailing this team, it's probably Chris Jones.
Yeah, but, I mean, so you got really good corners in McDuffie and Snead. Nick Bolton's one of the best linebackers in the league. I love Justin Reed. I loved him in Houston. I love him on this Kansas City team. Maybe we can see a leap for Karlaftis here coming into year 2.
For what it's worth, his advanced metrics were not super promising last year. Like, not that that's everything. Tape is going to matter more. I didn't sit here and grind the all-22 on George Karlaftis, but, like, his metrics are just okay from last year. It's not, like, super exciting from what I can tell.
Yeah, but worst case scenario, you have a defense that lets up points, and I don't think anybody in the league wants to get in a shootout with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I mean they added a few different nose tackles here. They went and got Danny Shelton, who hasn't really played many snaps since 2020, but he's still there. They drafted Keandre Coburn out of Texas to beef up that middle. Like they're trying to make sure they can stop the run a little, I think. And then, I mean, Michael Dana did some nice stuff as a pass rusher for him last year in limited snaps. So, so maybe you have a little something extra there. But the overall, the depth on the interior is really worrying. And the depth on the edge is really, really worrying.
What I want to know is, I don't know what the money was like, what was offered, but Nicole Hardman has to be regretting that decision going to the Jets right now.
He had to be the 5th string wide receiver?
To be the 5th string wide receiver. Even if he's better than other guys on the field, I mean, Aaron Rodgers has his buddies in there. And plus, it was already and it was already a stacked wide receiver room to begin with. Like, I don't know. I don't know what influenced that decision, if it was just purely money-based, and then they just kept everyone and signed more people, then you're like, well, fuck. But yeah, would you rather be the 5th wide receiver on a Jets team making an extra couple $100,000 a year, or have a chance to explode in a Chiefs offense and get 10x paid what the contract?
Or even if you're going to be 5th string on either one, like, would you rather be the punt returner in the Super Bowl? Like, or with a better chance at a Super Bowl. Like I think that makes
sense. I don't know what the specifics were. Maybe it was so much more money that, I mean, you always got to take care of you first. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if the numbers were close, he's got to be just kicking himself.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention about the Chiefs defense, though, it seems like they always get better late in the season, every single year under Spags. And it's something that Spags really does well. He paces his defense for the marathon of the season. And they'll usually be like near 20th in the NFL for the first half of the year. But then the second half of the year, they're top 10 in almost everything. Like they were 10th in EPA per play, 3rd in success rate from week 9 on, 9th in dropback EPA per play, 5th in dropback success rate, 6th in rushing success rate, 14th in rushing EPA per play. Like they became a really good defense as the season was closing out, which I don't think is a coincidence. Spags tends to get crazy in the first half too. Like he blitzes like crazy in the first half of the season. And then he starts throwing change-ups in the second half, and it's got, because everyone's been studying their first half film and going like, this is what we're seeing, these are the trends, and it's just like he completely throws it off. I love Spags. He's wild.
So, I mean, I could talk about the Chiefs all day, but I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, they're the best team in the division. They're probably the best team in the AFC. They're the gold standard right now in the NFL.
To me, the question
until they're dethroned, I mean,
they did lose a lot this offseason, but like I feel like they covered it mostly. Outside of edge, that's the one spot I'm still worried. But honestly, or edge and interior low, but honestly, there's some guys that I wouldn't be shocked if they go out and grab. Like if you're a veteran free agent, this is where you want to go.
I saw a list of free agents today, and there's still tons of people out there, especially looking for 1-year deals and stuff like that. And also on top of that, I mean, unless Patrick Mahomes renegotiates that contract pretty soon, it's going to be the most team-friendly contract in the NFL in 2 years.
Yeah. And then the one other spot that is a little concerning is safety. 2nd-round pick from last year, Brian Cook, is probably jumping into the starter role with Juan Thornhill leaving town. So that's a spot where you just don't really know what you have yet. But I mean, we'll see. I trust this coaching staff to develop and get it right.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, best team in football. I mean, reigning champions, been to 3 out of the past 4 Super Bowls. Like,
dude, I mean, do you see the 8 straight playoff appearance, 7 straight division titles, 1 head coach in the last 5 years, only 18 losses in the last 5 years? That's all Pat Mahomes in the last 5 years.
5 straight AFC championship appearances.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.